Kia ora, welcome. It's Dan Hooker, and we're just looking at the huge UFC card this weekend. UFC 253 goes down in Abu Dhabi with the Kiwi, Israel Adesanya, headlining the card against Paulo Costa, the Brazilian. Action-packed card. We also have another 3 Kiwis lined up for the card, as well as another Aussie and Jake Matthews. So we're going to run through each one of these fights, take a little look at how the boys are matched up for this one, and be able to check the odds and see if we got any winners, see if we got any hot picks for this weekend. So we'll get into it. Shane Young is the opening fight of the card, and he's had a late-minute replacement because his opponent got coronavirus, so they threw someone else in. I'm backing Shane Young in this one. He's fighting Klein, 16-2 on a good streak, 7-fight win streak. But taking this on short notice, Shane, he's been through a great camp. He's had an 18-month layoff, but he's been in the gym for the last 8 or 9 months, consistently working hard, and he's put in a full camp. And that's something that can't be underrated leading into a fight, and that's preparation. Ludovic Klein's taking this on, a week's notice compared with Shane, who's put in a full camp. So I think Shane will dominate this fight, and I'm picking Shane Young via decision. Moving on to the next fight, we've got a light heavyweight fight. Kadis Ibragimov versus Danilo Marquez. Ibragimov, 8-3, 3-fight losing streak leading into this fight. So he's not looking like the man in the back. Marquez making his UFC debut, but doing very well, coming in off a 2-fight win streak. I'm going to back my man on the bit of a streak, Danilo Marquez, and I'm going to pick him via decision. Next fight, we move into the heavyweight boys, Jeff Hughes versus Juan Espino. Jeff Hughes, impressive looking guy. Impressive looking lad. But as well, on a 2-fight lose streak, coming to that, as well as no contest because of an accidental eye gouge. I remember watching that fight. Juan Espino is the favorite in this matchup. If I can take a look. Espino's paying $1.33. Jeff Hughes at $3.10. So I'm going to back. I don't think there's an underdog pulling off a victory anytime soon in this one. And I'm going to back Juan Espino. William Knight. We've got another light heavyweight matchup. It's always difficult to pick because just so heavy-handed in the light heavyweight division. William Knight making his UFC debut, 8-1, takes a win in the Contender Series against Alexia Kamaru. Now, this is a highly touted fighter, fighting at a strong style gym, and that's Stipe Miocic's fight camp, if you are not aware. And he is undefeated. He's, that's 6-0 now. But the first 5, 20-second punch, second round KO, first round KO, second round flying knee, and his first decision in his last fight against Justin Ledet. But I feel like William Knight making his UFC debut is not going to have enough firepower to stop this boy from strong style, Alexia Kamaru. I feel like he picks up another decision. I feel like William Knight is competent enough as a striker to avoid getting put to sleep, but I don't feel like he's going to get the job done. So we're going Alexia Kamaru via decision. Next one up, Brad Riddell, the Kiwi lightweight, coming in guns blazing against Alex de Silva. Alex de Silva, incredible record, 21-2. But I feel like Brad's just going to have too much firepower for this one. Alex de Silva's had 2 fights in the UFC, 1 win and 1 loss. Brad Riddell on a 2-fight win streak inside of the UFC since making his debut. I think Brad Riddell stops Alex de Silva, and I'm going round 3 knockout. That's my pick. Round 3 or round 2 knockout. Now, Brad is the favorite, if I'm aware. Oh, we haven't got the full odds yet. But we'll get those out later, but I would be hedging my bet on a second or third round stoppage for Brad in that one. Moving our way up the card, now we've got the Aussie, Jake Matthews, coming back, fighting the legend, Diego Sanchez. I just feel like Diego Sanchez is a little bit too far past his prime, and Jake Matthews is going to get the job done pretty dominant fashion in this one. I'm going Jake Matthews decision. I feel like Diego still very defensively responsible, still very hard to finish, especially via submission, especially on the ground. So I feel like it'll be an awkward fight, but Jake's just far too strong, far too athletic, too much youth on his side for Diego to get the job done. I'm going Jake Matthews via decision. Katlyn Vera versus Sergio Ebanks. Good matchup. 2 top 15 ranked bantamweights worldwide. No beating around the bush. I'm going Katlyn Vera. She's 10-1. She's coming off 4 cancelled bouts in 2020. So she's had four fights fall through since her first defeat to Irene Aldana, one of the very top in the bantamweight division. So I feel like she's going to get back on track here against Sergio Ebanks. Katlyn Vera, decision. Dominant decision. Katlyn Vera paying $1.51 in that much. But I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. Moving our way up, Kai Kara-France, flyweight fight, main card against Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval, a submission specialist, won submission victory in the UFC, a 3-fight win streak, all via submissions leading up to this. But Kai Kara-France with the 90%, 92% takedown defense inside of the UFC, I feel like his wrestling defensively is too good for Brandon Royval to get him to the ground. Kai Kara-France picks him apart on the feet, and I'm going Kai Kara-France via knockout in this one. That's my pick. We'll wait till we have the full odds, but I'll be looking into Kai Kara-France with the stoppage victory in that one. Hakeem Dawodu versus Zayub Tahugov. Now, Zub, I just call him Zub. I actually know Zub from years ago, training with Zub at Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand. So I know Zub quite well. That was in 2012, so I've been following his career for a very long time. Khabib got him back in the UFC after he dogshot Conor McGregor. He was one of the boys that dogshot Conor McGregor and got himself kicked out of the UFC. But Khabib got him back in. Good thing he did. I'm going Zub via decision. And I'm only backing Zub because he'll get upset with me if I pick against him. But nah, he's a good fighter. Good fighter. We're going decision. Co-main event, Dominick Reyes, Juan Blachowicz. Now this is for the vacant light heavyweight title. John Jones vacated his belt and is looking to move up to heavyweight. So these boys are stepping in to fight for the vacant title. I'm going Dominick Reyes. I think he's got too much class on the feet, too much versatility. You know, Juan Blachowicz he's a very powerful puncher, very powerful striker, but very limited in his striking arsenal. So I feel like Dominick Reyes, with the athleticism, with the variety in strikes, will get the job done here. Dominick Reyes via decision. Now, main event time. The Kiwi, Nigerian, Israel Adesanya versus the Brazilian Paulo Costa, both undefeated, fighting for the undisputed UFC middleweight championship. I'm backing my boy, of course, Israel Adesanya. I don't even feel like this is a close contest. I feel like Israel Adesanya is too fast, too versatile, too athletic. Costa carries too much muscles, too slow. His arms are too short. He's too limited as a striker. Israel Adesanya, I feel like Israel stops him. And now Israel is the favorite heading into this fight and is only paying $2.50 for the knockout. So if we look into the rounds, I'm backing him later in the fight. Ooh, now it's starting to heat up. Israel Adesanya to win in the third round, $9. Israel Adesanya to win in the fourth round, $13. Israel Adesanya to stop him in the fifth round, $19. I feel like those are good bets. Hedge your bets. Israel Adesanya to finish late in the fight. Chuck them all together. Kai Kara-France, Israel Adesanya, Jake Matthews, Brad Riddell, Shane Young. Put him as a multi. Get your money's worth. Happy days, people. Thanks for tuning in.